This tutorial is about making sure your files are actually located in the right spot for later moving and later backup. When you log into your computer and you click on the Finder, you can see a little house over on the left-hand side. And people got in the habit a long time ago of just dragging items into their house instead of into the folders that actually live within the house. But the truth is, if you look at the desktop folder, you'll notice that all of these files that are here are also here. What that means is anything that lives in this folder here shows up for me here. If I double click on my Documents folder to go into that, anything that's in my Documents folder, it's the same thing that actually lives in this Documents folder. So what we need to be careful about is where those files are, because a lot of people have duplicated files without necessarily meaning to do that. Also, if you look at this list, these two items that are marked with a green label are the only two places that we actually back up from our server. So anything that lives outside of this desktop folder or this documents folder, A, isn't getting backed up, and B, is actually viewable by anybody who connects to the server. So, for your own safety and security, make sure that every file that you want to save, back up, and actually keep private is located in one of these two folders. If you don't have something in those folders, you have items that are below, all you have to do is simply drag them into the desktop folder or the documents. But a better practice would be to make folders ahead of time in those locations so that you've got some place to store items. That way it'll help you kind of organize your own content. So for my desktop, I have a bunch of files here, and I actually would rather have those in a folder. So I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call it Class Lists. And then because these are all in a row, I can click the first one once, hold down the Shift key and click the bottom one, and it will select all the ones that are in between. And then I can simply drag them into the Class List folder. If those items were not all together, and I needed to grab separate ones, let's say I needed to grab only the red items, I can use the Command or Apple key to do random selections. Same thing, move one, and then they all move. So now I've got class lists, and you'll notice that what I just did on my desktop is reflected on my desktop. A folder named Class List now resides here, and the two files that I did not move in yet are still on my desktop. If I want to move those, notice they go away. So when checking your files and folders, make sure that everything lives within either desktop or documents, as that will make things a lot easier for you down the road. If you need help, be sure to ask your tech person and they'll be happy to help.